Hello, folks. Hope you're all well. So, I got a envelope here in the mail. So I had a little bit of cash, and I thought I'd help out a fellow Canadian. So I bought in on a recent mystery break from Shaw Racing Collects. I'll post the YouTube channel info out there. So I bought in, and I bought in for normally Maple Leafs I would buy in for, but there were possibly some older cards, since this was just kind of like a random pack thing of older product. You're looking at older product, never hurts to go with the Edmonton Oilers, which I've been a fan of, over the years since watching hockey since the late 70s with my grandfather and that back in the day. It's never been a bad thing to select teams like that, and Edmonton was one of the teams, so let's see what Jeff does for his mailer. This envelope, of course, not showing the side with his info, just in case of, things. He uses a piece of cardboard, and again, painter's tape. Can't go wrong with painter's tape. This is a nice piece of cardboard. Fortunately, I can't show the other side because, again, has potential addresses and don't want to do the dots thing. So let's see all what Jeff includes here. And he's nicely put them into the plastic sleeve, and finally got them separated. I guess to some of those on the Canucks with Guitars folks, pretty cool of Jeff to include this. That's awesome. And I guess we'll show some of that info there, but that's awesome. And awesome signature. Nice little bonus throw in. Thank you very much, Jeff. And again, a nice little note. Thank you for joining in our break, Jeff. Again, very welcome to help fellow Canuck, and cool to get some cards. So he's got this done into one 9-sheet folder. Again, nicely closed off at the tops with, again, painter's tape, which is awesome because of its low tactile nature. Doesn't get stuck onto things so easily. So it's an awesome thing. So this was all various types of, as you can see here, various older cards. And I took Edmonton, and I think I got as a bonus, Chicago was also drawn during the break. So, hey, that's awesome. Awesome to get the cool bonus team. I did like the Blackhawks back in the day with Ed Olczyk, who, oddly enough, got released by Chicago for their announcing team, and starting this coming NHL season is now going to be part of the Seattle Kraken's hockey announce team going into this season. That's awesome. So you continue to get some of these pieces of tape. Don't want to make this a very long video, but hey. So again, thanks again, Jeff. You know, I think it's cool that you're doing the card breaks with your kids and them getting some practice in to learn how to pronounce some of these players' names, because let's face it, whether you have a speech impediment or dyslexia or whatever else, some of these names on players is just crazy. So let's see what we got here. We got some old O-Pee-Chee from 83 or 88. So I got a Trent Yanni, Dwayne Sutter, or Suter, however you pronounce it. From Upper Deck Trilogy 2021, Patrick Kane. Another old school hockey card from Topps. I believe this is 1990 Topps. Jeremy Roenick. And the last card is a not sure what year this is from, but it is a I guess maybe it's a rookie card because there's no stats. A Thomas Groneman card, which you can barely see the name there, from Upper Deck. So that was slot 1 of the cards. Slot 2, we have the Upper Deck Mike Malyanuk card from it's apparently a rookie card as well too, I guess. They've got no info. 1999 Upper Deck. Not sure the nature of it. Now this is old school, and it's funny to think like that these are like so like they're kind of a dud, and back in the day they were considered to be premium. But former Maple Leaf Stumpy Steve Thomas from the Chicago Blackhawks, which is who he originally played for before coming to the Maple Leafs. Oh, this was a nice card out of them as well too. This looks like 1997. Yeah, 96, 97. These are beautiful cards, and it's a shame that it's controlled by Upper Deck now, but this is the Flair series cards, and beautiful stock to them. And this is an Alexei Zhamnov from Flair 96, 97. Really beautiful cards. And again, getting back into my days, I loved the Marvel product that was done on that before Upper Deck got a hold of them. This one came up, and this was a cool one. This is a little, apparently, SO NHL All-Star Collection. And I don't know if somebody previously checked it off or if it was checked off. But it is a cool little mini Dennis Savard card. Very cool. And last, Chicago Blackhawks, Upper Deck. I'm not sure how many seasons, I guess 4th season card. Dave Manson, whose son now plays for the Colorado Avalanche. Dave Manson, I remember he was a tough guy back in the day. Let's go to pocket 3. And again, there's some cool mix of cards in this random brick that he did. So here is one of the not sure on the yearing of this, maybe 93, 94. $394 O-Pee-Chee Premier, Steve Smith. Again, he was right. A lot of this stuff's in good shape. Here's a recent Skybox Metal Universe hockey card. 2021 of Dominic Kubalik. Again, these cards were awesome cards back in the day when they first originally came up with the Marvel series of cards. And an old school Upper Deck from the first year, or first few years when they started making their product, 91-92. It's Chicago Blackhawk, Mike Peluso. And here is back in the day, under the Leaf banner of card brands, 1994, Leaf Hockey. Got the shakes that isn't helping. But this is of Chicago Blackhawks defenseman Ivan Drappa, who didn't do a whole lot in the NHL. And last for the stack, it's another Chicago Blackhawks. And this is actually another under the Leaf banner, I think, or Don Ross. No, it's a Don Ross. Okay. Don Ross Blackhawks. This guy was fairly well known. Keith Kearney. So it's either Don Ross or it's Leaf. Hard to kind of tell. That was kind of the not great things about these back in the day. I believe it's a Leaf. So this is actually a Leaf hockey card, not a Don Ross. There was Don Ross and Leaf at the time. Okay, well, let's keep going with the things. Kind of don't want to take too long, but also at the same time, I think it's cool to go through and look at some of these cards from back in the day. Again, this is a Chicago Blackhawks checklist from the old Upper Deck series. And again, it is a painting of Jeremy Roenick. Some of the paintings that they had for that series. Yeah. Now, on to some of the cool stuff back in the day. Back in the day, before Upper Deck got their hands on them, this company was the company to get most of your trading cards from, whether it be a sports card or a comic card. So we have here Bernie Nichols with the Chicago Blackhawks, and it is a Fleer Ultra 93-94 Upper Deck card. Again, Fleer Ultra was some awesome stuff back in the day. Next up, we have another 2021 Trilogy Patrick Kane. I think I got 2 of those in this. Next up here we have a Upper Deck. I'm not sure what season or what year. Going by the year displayed, I'm going to say it's a 94-95 Upper Deck product. A Brent Greaves. Again, another individual who didn't do much in the NHL. And some more old school. This is the 92-93 Fleer Ultra, which I actually did collect back in the day. And this is Edmonton Oilers. Joseph Baranek. The back of these cards are really, really nice back in the day. Like the gloss and the look of these. The only company that did a better card than this back in this era was Top Stadium, which were done on Kodak film. Okay, and it's another old school. Again, one that we never seen a whole lot of for card brains up north too much. Not 1% sure, but it is an Edmonton Oiler, Yari Curry. I think it's a 90s. But anyways, this is what Bowman hockey looked like back in the day. And here is another The Leaf set. So it is The Leaf set. Barrie, Ontario's own Shane Corson. If I can get my webcam to autofocus, you can kind of see it there. The Leaf product was pretty good back in the day. But again, nobody was going to buy Leaf even over Upper Deck at the time, which was kind of weird. So this is a 91-92 Upper Deck, and back then they did release them in Canada in Les Français. So and totally summon off. And you can't see it, but the back of the card does have French. And the front of the card, up in this corner, in big time indication that it is a French variation card from the French set, is right there. The old Allier. Don't ask me what that means, other than I assume it means winger. And the next stack. Good old Mr., if I remember correctly, I love scoring on my own goal. And now part of the management group, I believe, in Edmonton. Kevin Love. Again from, well, this one's 1990 upper deck. We have the Conn Smythe winner, and who is currently one of the top selected goaltending coaches in the NHL right now. Billy Rainford. And again, this is a Peachy. I did collect this series for a while, or this set back in the day. And it's again Mr. I like to score on my goal, Steve Smith. And again, 90-91. This looks to be actually a second year card of Martin Jelena, who went on to play with quite a few teams in the NHL. Down to the last row. I know, 23 minutes. Eek. There was a lot of cards in this. Not to mention I didn't anticipate getting the double stack. So, here we see one of the kind of cards from back in the day, when O-Pee-Chee was trying to step up their game. 1992 O-Pee-Chee Premier, and we have former Maple Leaf and then later Edmonton Oilers goaltender Peter Ing. Now we have a few Upper Deck products. This is a Jujar Kahari, who actually plays on, I think he's now signed with the New York Islanders, but I could be wrong. He's a pretty good player. Also, this is a mini. I'm not sure what set it came out, but it is a mini card. And really cool. It is, at the time, from Banff, Alberta, Ryan Smith. That's a super cool mini card to get. So there's some kind of cool little cards in this. The brother of former Maple Leafs defenseman Dmitry Mironov, who played for the Edmonton Oilers. Boris Mironov. Boris Mironov. He was a defenseman like his brother. It was pretty good. Not as good as Dmitry, but it was very serviceable. And one of my favorite goaltenders from back in the day. Again, when I used to play ball hockey and such, I was, and I wanted to play goaltending when in my youth. And this is Grant Fuhr back in the day. The old school DR goal equipment and Sherwood hockey stick. You don't see any of that stuff in the NHL anymore. Second last sleeve here. And we have a good old El Cheapo 1991 score product. And so I did score Gretzky. Lady Byng Trophy Wayne Gretzky from Score. Not a very pricey card, but hey, we'll take it. Again, this is OPG 9091 or 9092. It was very cool, the colored backgrounds on some of these cards when they started to do it more. But OPG, Bill Rankford, who again, like I said, is now a fairly successful goalie coach. We have some newer ones here. This is a maybe a second year. This is a 2018-19 Upper Deck Series 1 card of Jesse Puljujärvi. Focus. Gotta love autofocus, even with as much of a fairly good PC I got, still doesn't work. Upper Deck 16-17 Series 2 Hockey. Mr. Chris Russell. There we go. And the last from this second last deck is an Oilers 88-89 final standing card from OPG, the makers of the cards. Yeah, team shot of against a Boston Bruin guy, and I think it's Low. Not sure who the other two people are in that. So, on the verge of 30 minutes, we have our last sleeve, folks. Last sleeve magic. Last sleeve magic. So we have here, feels like a little bit of a smudge on the back of the surface or something. So nothing to blame Jeff over. That's probably who he got it from or whatnot. But it's still in great shape. The card, but it is a Joseph Baranek for the Czechoslovakia team as part of the Canada Cup. A newer Upper Deck 17-18 Series 1. Adam Larson. Apparently, I believe this is actually a 2002 O-Pee-Chee. You can kind of see looking over some of these cards how much things changed. I don't know if this was a base set, the base O-Pee-Chee for the year, or if this was a premium set, but this is a Michael York, who was a decent player over the years. Nothing to write home about. And from the, looks like 2002 Topps Total Brand card. Excuse me. In the alternate jersey done by McFarlane, who did the Spawn series of comic cards. Tom McFarlane, I believe, is correct, with the Edmonton Oilers jersey logo that was designed by him in jersey, Ryan Smith. And the last of the stack, old school 90-91 Upper Deck. Third year Martin Jalina card. So awesome. Thanks again. Was it worth the $10? Didn't get any real major inserts, though the mini stuff could have some value. But at the end of the day, again, a reminder, some people aren't going treasure hunting in card hobby, which makes it awesome for being in the card trading hobby, no matter what it is, whether it's Pokemon, Digimon, anime type of stuff, Magic the Gathering, sports cards, wrestling cards. You know, there's so many different types of trading cards now. Again, I do think it's very awesome that you are including these in, Jeff. Again, I have fellow YouTubers that are involved in the they're NASCAR fans and they're Canucks, so they're NasCanucks, so it's awesome. But that said, thank you again, Jeff. Keep up the good work with the occasional retro breaks. It's awesome, and it's cool that some people can not have to fork over hundreds of dollars to go back and visit the nostalgia of trading cards back in the days. Again, it was awesome to get some of the cards that I used to maybe not necessarily own, but I had sets of, like the Flair Ultra. The Flair Ultra, I did have the Marvel Flair back in the day. Eventually, maybe if things settle, I would like to get back into, as I've said numerous times, get back into like the comic stuff. But again, there's almost nothing in trading cards right now that's cheap to do. So, we'll see. That said, hope you all enjoyed the 35 plus minute video. Thank you again, Jeff, for the prompt shipment of the cards that I got in the buy-in. And thanks for the bonus Chicago team that was drawn by your one of your sons. That said, take care, everyone. Be safe, be well, and bye for now.